Today, I'm going to talk about the scapegoat. The scapegoat is the child that gets the wrath of the emotionally immature parent. They're often on the receiving end of invalidation, being told to stop being dramatic, or it's not that big of a deal. Gaslighting, where they're made to question their perspectives or their entire reality. The silent treatment, where they're not spoken to, or they're ignored completely. Or rage, erratic, and explosive behaviors. They are the ones who are blamed for everything. So they feel like they're walking on eggshells, always in fear of the next time that they're going to get in trouble or get blamed for something they didn't do or something that they didn't cause. Usually, the child that's picked to be the scapegoat is highly sensitive. They have a lot of feelings. They're artistic or creative. They want to express themselves in that way. They're not super compliant, which means that they question things or they act outside of the box. They saw their siblings getting treated better or being favored. They're being punished and their siblings aren't. They're mocked or made fun of. They're teased, sometimes for being the one who's always getting in trouble. Or they're criticized for being different, for acting outside of the box. So, why do parents scapegoat? They scapegoat because they're emotionally immature. Emotionally immature parents create dysfunctional family roles, the scapegoat being one of them. They are parents who cannot handle their own emotions, so they blame other people, the world around them. You caused me to feel this way. They believe that their children should cater to themselves, to their needs. This makes sense, right? If you're causing me to feel some kind of way, stop doing that. Cater to me. They can't self-reflect or they externalize. They project everything outward. The world is happening to them, their children included. They feel very insecure and inadequate, and they project that onto their child. The scapegoat feels insecure, inadequate because they're being criticized or yelled at all of the time. The adult impact of being a scapegoat in childhood is CPTSD, or ongoing relational trauma that leads to helplessness, dissociation, and relationship discontent. Another impact is anxiety, always feeling agitated, always feeling on edge. Next, depression, feeling low emotions, no motivation, even hopelessness. Another one is chronic self-doubt. You lack confidence about who you are and your abilities. In childhood, you weren't allowed to express those aspects of yourself. It leads to people pleasing. You put everyone else and their needs above your own, just like you had to do in childhood with your parents. Another impact is self-esteem issues. You feel unworthy and unlovable because that's how you felt in your childhood. It leads to procrastination. You feel unmotivated, unable to do the things that you even want to do because in childhood, it was kind of like, why bother? You're always in trouble. It leads to denying your own reality, just like your reality was denied by your parents. It can lead to negative coping habits, addictive or impulsive behaviors, the way you're trying to navigate all of those overwhelming feelings. And it can lead to invalidating partners or simply choosing friends and partners who reinforce the same patterns that happen in your relationship with your parents. So how do you heal? You heal by realizing that your parents were emotionally immature. Your family system was dysfunctional. And while you can change them and they're not your responsibility, you can change the way you show up in your relationships. You heal by understanding that you did not deserve the treatment that you got. Your parents were looking for someone else, a child, to blame, rather than taking responsibilities for themselves and their own actions. You heal by getting angry. Anger is a completely appropriate response to being abused, to being shamed, and to be mistreated in childhood the way that you were. You heal by understanding that walking on eggshells is not normal in any relationship. In healthy relationships, you're able to share your perspectives, your feelings, your wants, your needs, and to get support. You heal by setting boundaries for yourself. Because you're highly empathetic, you have a lot of feelings. Sometimes you end up serving others at the expense of your own wants and needs. And if you find yourself in neglectful or abusive relationships, you might need to go limited contact or no contact for short or long periods of time so that you can protect yourself, so that you can begin to meet your own needs. You heal by learning and knowing your true gifts. You've always been enough, and the treatment that you experienced reflected your parents' insecurity, their own issues, and was not a reflection of who you really are. And you heal by finding your true path. Outside of those dysfunctional dynamics, outside of the role that you were made to play, you find your own way. Drop a comment if you were the scapegoat in your family. I'd love to hear how it was for you. Being the scapegoat is really difficult, it's really hurtful, and you can reconnect with who you really are outside of the role that you've had to play.